Welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Target Real Experience. The reason why I was laughing because as soon as I hit the record button, the New York Predator Department began using their sirens. So obviously, they understand what I'm about to expose, and of course, they're going to try to intimidate me into not doing this video, uploading this video. But anyhow, now why do I always quote Muhammad Ali? Right? Why? Because I wanted to show when I talk about my targeting, particularly the racist aspect of my targeting, and I talk, particularly when they try to call me a racist, and I'm like, well, black people can't be racist. I can be bigoted, but I'm not bigoted. I don't hate anybody because of their color, their skin, or what have you. I hate the people that hate me. So if you're white and you hate me, I hate you. If you're black, you hate me, I hate you. If you're Chinese, Asian, I should say, not Chinese, but Asian, and you hate me, I hate you. If you're, you know, Arab and you hate me, I hate you. If you're white and you love me, I'll love you. I respect you if you respect me. If you're Asian and you love me, I love you. I respect you if you respect me. That is my mindset. My mindset is not you hate me and you can do everything you can to destroy me, my life, my children's lives, the lives of my people, and I'm supposed to forgive you, when if I was in the position that you're in and did the same to you, you wouldn't even forgive me. You would do everything you can to fight so that you can take me out of the position that I'm in, so that I can no longer subjugate you. Right? Again, I want people to understand the mindset, the dark triads mindset, particularly the white supremacists, those at the top, particularly the billionaire class of white people, that they're at the point now where, particularly when it comes to middle class whites, working class whites, lower class whites, what have you, they don't give a shit about you guys now. Okay? Because guess what? AI technology is going to replace you white Americans, as well as it's going to replace everybody else. But don't think that you're not going to be impacted by two white Americans, because you are. Okay? But anyhow, so whenever they try to pull this shit off, I always talk about Muhammad Ali. I said, listen, I know every white person is not a bigot, but they all are racist. Right? I should say very few are not racist, right? But the majority are racist. Because why? Because they operate under a racist system that benefits them, and they are not going to do anything to dismantle the system, all right, so that other groups of people can also benefit from this system greatly, like they have, and they continue to do. So that's why I say what I say. But let's let Muhammad Ali speak for himself.
For black people. Now, here's the position I'm in. Here's 10,000 whites coming to kill me. And in those 10,000, or let's say here's 10,000 rattlesnakes coming to bite me. And in those 10,000, there was 1,000 that didn't mean no harm. And I knew there was a good 1,000 snakes out there.
Let me just pause this for copyright situation, but you guys just going to again hear what it is I'm talking about here. Listen.
But they all look alike. Now what should I do? Should I keep the door open and let the 10,000 in, hoping that the 1,000 will unite and save me in one bite or kill me? Or should I just be safe and shut the door? So we have black people.
Right. So again, he's saying that there are, and that's the majority, okay, that are coming to bite him, and one bite will kill him. He's not going to take the chance of letting that 1,000, that 10,000 into his home, and then trying to figure out who that 1,000 trying to say. It doesn't matter anyway, because the other 9,000 is an overwhelming force. So what he's trying to say is that in America, right, he's not going to let white people into his space, that he would rather have other black people around him, okay? Because, again, there's only a small minority of white people who means well for black people. but the vast majority do not mean well. And I don't say this just to say because, again, trying to, make it seem like I'm racist and I don't like white people. But the reality is, when they do survey about programs to help uh, um, working class and poor people, white people in the vast majority are for it, as long as it's white people, right? As long as it's white working class men and women and poor white men and women. But the minute they mention, well, also black people will also benefit from it, then they change their stance where they don't support those programs. That's the reason why I say what I say. Okay, so now that we understand that, let's move on. So anyhow, I talk about the video today of in my videos I uploaded, and I talk about how to use. I'm gonna show you guys how to use.
This is not gonna be
right, and how to use cognitive warfare through social media. So today I'll talk about how they also will put certain types of video on my channel feed, right? So I'll most likely I'm going to look at it, right? This is, again, I'll give you an example of how cognitive warfare works using social media. I've talked about it in gaming, which I've done videos where I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops, and I'm showing you guys exactly what they do and explaining to you guys exactly what it is that they do. All right, so this morning, right before I was leaving to go see the kids, this feed pop up, right? And it says a random white man interrupts a family reunion. So this guy, I see in the video, this guy's like walking. I'm just like, I hope he doesn't have a gun or anything like that, right? Because I mean, as a black person and as black people, we know disgruntled white men, they usually do what, right? They talk about the mass murderers, the mass killers, which are predominantly young to middle-aged white men. So I said, okay, let me look at this video and see what's going on. So I'm going to show you guys this.
a normal day for this family. They're having a family reunion, and they noticed this guy was doing donuts in the grass.
Okay, so again, this family having a reunion. This white guy get out of his vehicle now, walks towards them, start doing donuts in the grass, right? But apparently he was having a mental breakdown. And I'm saying to myself, maybe this dude had a weapon in the car or something like that, and maybe he just changed his mind and decided that he's just gonna approach this family and see what happens, right? And I'm not gonna show you guys all the video, but you guys can go look at it. The title of the video is "That Hug Saved His Life." Right, that's the title of the video. But anyhow, because again, copyright issue, I don't want to have any problem with that. So anyhow,
he points at the car and he said, "Let's go talk about this." No attitude, no judgment.
Again, no judgment.
Human love changed life today.
They approach them. That's why they approach him, because they see this random white dude, right, just circling, doing donuts at their family reunion. So the two men approach him, right? Because again, they want to know what's going on. So there is a judgment there. And as black people, we have to have that type of mindset where when we see some random white person, particularly young, middle-class, middle-aged white man, just get out of his vehicle and just start circling. I mean, come on, we know what happened in Charleston, right? You know what I'm saying? We see what happened in Buffalo, New York, in the supermarket. Right? Random white dude just walk in there and start killing black people. Okay? So anyhow, and this could be like a subliminal message too, right? In terms of stuff like that happening. But anyway, I want to show you guys the vehicle that this guy had.
Thank God for this family being there today.
See this vehicle? This is a gray Mercedes-Benz. The gray Mercedes-Benz. Now, as I was on the bus, the second bus that I took to get to Pam's house, right? I got on the bus drives off, right? As soon as the bus drive off, the gray Mercedes-Benz, just like that, pulled out in front of the bus. I ain't think nothing of it, right? Because again, almost like the same make, right? You know what I'm saying? And so let me bring up this video. All right, so this is again. So this is when I started to realize what was happening, because again, when it comes to my targeting, I'm very keen and in terms of observing certain things, right? And the fact that I've studied this program and how they send me subliminal messages. So, so I'm just like, okay, so I left Pam's apartment, what have you, get downstairs.
All right, welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. So we got a new vehicle over here. Is that a Benz? Oh yeah. So let me show you. I knew it. Let me show you guys. And when I get home, I want to do a video on this to show you guys. So I posted a video earlier today. Okay, there's no number 32 in there in the license plate. So it's
Now let me just skip forward here a little bit, and you're going to see these perps as I'm walking.
Whereas because this person just, I guess, lives on the block, got a new vehicle, right? And they're trying to put certain ideas in. This sort of targeting in that way, right? Whereas because this person just, I guess, lives on the block, got a new vehicle, right? And they're trying to put certain ideas in my mind, particularly when it comes to Pam, right? Like I said, but I don't fall for that shit. That shit don't work.
Actually, there's two of them. They see me, right? They looked at me, and then they looked down the, what I'm saying? Yeah, they were going in that direction, but the way how they did it, again, is a certain way in which how they look at you, and then they look in certain directions, right? So looking back at where the vehicle was at, where the white guy was going into the building, right? Now, again, this is not coincidental, right? I have been through this so many times that, like I said, I literally studied. I spent the past decade and a half literally studying. This is why you see me do so many videos. This is why I have so many videos out. This is why they'll try to send me subliminal message, particularly using the police. Like, oh, if you recognize what is that we're doing, that means that you're guilty, right? That means that whatever, right? But I want you to understand that how they can manipulate you, and the fact that they try to keep me from coming forward, or other TS from coming forward, from exposing what it is that they do, right? So by coming forward and exposing what it is that they do, then you have to be guilty, right? Or you have to be, the type of person that they say you are, right? Whatever it is that they're accusing you of, or whoever it is that they're accusing you of being, that's who you are. No, that is their way of hiding their program, right? To silence you. That is their way of keeping you from coming forward and exposing what it is that they do. All right. And if you go and you read up about coercive persuasion programming, it talks about this, right? That this is what they do in order to avoid being exposed, in order to avoid accountability for what it is that they do. Okay. So
well, they'll try though. They'll try, but that shit do not work with me at all.
But let's get to the next video, all right, which I want to show you again. All right, so I am going to show you guys a second incident, all right, in which, again, you'll see the use of a gray Mercedes Benz. All right, now I want you to pay attention, because you're going to see they're going to send a fanatical religious Negropean female, and you'll see what she's going to do. See, because they feel they are very emboldened. And you want to know why? Again, it's to cause a rift between Pam and I. Now, again, I don't have a problem with Pam, other than the fact that, like, I try to tell her about this program, what it is that they're doing, they have done to me, and what it is that they're going to try to do to her in order to manipulate her into, into doing what it is that she's doing, right? And particularly when it comes to me, to try to, remove all source of support from you, whether it be family, friends, or have you. So this is what they do, and to break up relationships and marriages by using honey traps, right? and to also not only to use her to break us up and to separate us and to cause a rift between me and her, but also to set her up and manipulate her also, right? So this is what they do. This is how they move from people to people and manipulating them, right? So they can do what? They can control them. They can exploit them, right? So anyhow, so you'll see, and again, they're feeling very emboldened.
There's like it's not really a screw, but what's called was it a wing nut, some shit like that. But anyhow, she couldn't open it, and I said to her, like, I can't open it because I have arthritis in both my hands. And I said to her, you should know not to ask me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Particularly use my hand because I have arthritis in both hands, right? And what she said to me? She said to me, she was like, why can't you just say no? Why you gotta explain all of that? I said, because I have to explain all of that to give you the reason as to why. Because I said to her, look at this part. Because the European females, I tell you, they send them all over the place. Look. This is what they do when they're emboldened. That's what happens. See, as the Mercedes-Benz, the great Mercedes-Benz come over here, that's why. The reason as to why is I said to her, look at this part. Because the European females, I tell you, they send them all over the place. Look, because I said to her, look, screw, but what's called was it a wing nut, some shit like that. But anyhow, she couldn't open it, and I said to her, like, I can't open it because I have.
Just to show you guys that this is planned, this is pre-planned, right? This is nothing that's coincidental. There's nothing that's mystical about it. Even though in the past I used to feel that way because that's the effect that they want, right? This is religious fanaticism, religious destructive religious cult, right? And the U.S. government and its law enforcement and security agencies are using religion and using their religious fanatics, which they have created a super cult, a super destructive cult, right? And they can manipulate other groups of people also. And that's how they get away with it, right? So if you say, well, I'm being targeted by many different groups of people, then automatically you're paranoid and, or have you, right? But I want to show you guys, this is why I do what I do, okay? I may not have I can't really sit down, how I want to because, again, my injury and the fact that they've not only harmed me psychologically, but also neurologically. So I have to do the best that I can. So what I have to do is, again, train my brain a certain way now. So whenever being that I cannot sit down and read an entire book, you know what I'm saying? I just do a speed reading and I just grab sections. It's like the answers just allow me to just do what I need to do, right? To help me expose what it is that they're doing. And the good people out there, right, who understand what's going on, what's being done, and they know that what is being done is wrong. It is criminal in nature. It is criminal against the law, right? And those who engage in this sort of behavior, including those within positions of authority within the law enforcement or security agents, or have you, they know that this is illegal. They know this. They know what they're doing is illegal, without a doubt, and I know that without a doubt. So, anyhow,
arthritis in both my hands, and I said to her, you should know not to ask me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Particularly use my hand because I have arthritis in both hands, right? And what she said to me? She said to me, she was like, why can't you just say no? Why you gotta explain all of that? I said, because I have to explain all of that to give you the reason as to why. Because I said to her, look at this part. Because the European females, I tell you, they send them all over the place. Look. This is what they do when they're emboldened. That's what happens. See, as the Mercedes-Benz, the great Mercedes-Benz come over here, that's why. So I said, because I have to explain all of that to give you the reason as to.
Let me see. It wasn't this vehicle. I think it might have been the vehicle.
Why? Because I said to her, look at this part. Because the nigga.
Is it this one? Let me see.
Being females, I tell you, they send them all over the place. Look, look, look.
Okay, so it was shoot.
The reason as to why, because I said to her, look, look, look at this perp. Because the nigga being females, I tell you, they send them all over the place. Look, look, look.
Right there, this vehicle right here. So I can't move it to the. But you see her coming in there. She does the hand signal. So again, right before that vehicle approach, you'll see her walking. So she's standing right there. Okay.
And you know what she said to me? She said to me, she was like, why can't you just say no? Why you gotta explain all of that? I said, because I have to explain all of that to give you the reason as to why. Because I said to her, look, look, look at this perp. Because the nigga being females, I tell you, they send them all over the place. Look, look, look. Look. This is what they do when they're emboldened. That's what happens. See, as the Mercedes-Benz.
Watch, I want to show you guys. There you go, gray Mercedes-Benz. Even though this one is a different make and model, it's an older model, but you know they will use the same vehicles, right, and the same colors, right? So this is Mercedes-Benz, what have you. Again, using the power of association, neurolinguistic programming. Again, using the video that I just showed you guys in the beginning of this, with the white guy walking into the family reunion, driving a gray guy of his gray Mercedes vehicle. All right. So again, this is orchestrated, coordinated, and put into action. This is what they do. And like I said, it is my purpose, and my purpose is greater than them. But I want you to understand that religious fanatics, that they don't think, they just believe, right? And the dark triads, because they're in a position of authority, in a position of power, they believe that they can do whatever they want to do. And a lot of times, most times, they get away with these crimes. And no one would ever know what happened to that victim. Right? No one would ever know what happened to those people. All right? And we're fighting amongst each other. Meanwhile, these people have been manipulating us, using technology, illegally microchipping us, and we don't even understand and know why. And then trying to manipulate us into silence. Right? I mean, I keep saying that white people have not given up the idea of putting black people back into slavery. And the fact that they can get black European people to go along with this without them understanding that what they're doing to them also is manipulating them and setting them up also. Because when they start to do what they do to me to them, and they do it to them, they just can't see it. Right? What they do to me in a concentrated level, because me as an individual, they're doing to the majority of black people in America as a group. As a group. But we don't see it. Okay? So I just wanted to show you guys this. And
Mercedes-Benz come over here. That's why. So this is what they do when they feel.
Now that the vehicle is passed, right? So now she don't need for that anymore, right? So again, like I said, man, you picked the right one and the wrong one. You picked the wrong one because I am the right one to expose you. All right? Anyhow, talk to you guys in the next video.